and welcome to today's session. Cheers. Cold.
Awesome.
Chat for hours. Cold. Was it cold? Kind of a funny one. Light conversation. Alrighty. Welcome back. Hello, everybody. Leave it in. Cheers and welcome to today's session.
Moving the conversation into the day. So today's continuing to move the conversation.
With Tamsin
And Zoe.
and
Hannah.
and
Me.
that would be Mike.
Mike.
Yeah. And we're continuing the conversation that Mike and Hannah started last week. So you were having a conversation last night with Mike.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking with part of it, moving the conversation into the day, is so we've been kind of through the wilderness journey and then this is coming into the promised land. So we're having to change the conversation because it's celebratory and it's a joyous occasion. And when they were entering the land, there was trumpets, which is like, so you're making sound and you're shouting and dancing, and that's the kind of sound we want.
It's good.
Joyful sound.
Yeah.
Like a proclamation.
It was quite dark that last season at times.
Yeah. Carrying stuff and you're walking, and it was, that journey.
Heavy.
So upping the level of the conversation, you guys you've had 2 days to think about it, or a day and a half?
Yeah, but the Lord gave me a head start last week because he was already speaking to me about...
You were in trouble last week.
Was they?
I think so. Didn't he tell you off?
Yes, speaking life, Mum, changing your ways.
Oh, yeah. Yep, he just told me off a little bit. It was like
The God of the universe told you off just a little bit. How does he even do that?
I didn't think it was a telling off. It was just don't do this. So I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So we just recently had elections and people were bad-mouthing the government, like just the moaning and complaining.
Yeah.
And there was one particular politician, every time I heard him say something, I was like, oh man, he's an idiot. Like, just that would be what my thoughts would go to. I'm just being honest here. And then the Lord was like...
It's quite dark.
The way he said it was kind of weird, but he said, like, you're not to put your mouth on anyone. And it just meant I wasn't allowed to badmouth or speak against anyone, speak out against them.
This is last week.
Yeah, had to be words of life. And it's been so cool because just like interceding for this guy, I'm not going to call him an idiot anymore.
No.
And it's just been awesome praying for him and that he'd have a revelation of the Lord and have life and have truth and like that would pour out in his role. So it's actually been really good.
Awesome. The same week we were doing the video that you didn't know about.
Yeah.
We were doing the same thing with the politicians.
Yeah. And just speaking life out over them and that encounter with God and expecting to see that and changes and that there's going to be good things ahead instead of doom and gloom or they'll stuff that up or whatever. It's like, no, coming into agreement with God and what he's saying.
Crazy, eh? Because whinging and moaning about them, so productive.
Not going to change a thing, not going to get us anywhere. And then you're not agreeing with the Lord and you're not speaking life over them. That's death. Don't want that.
So that was you cheating,
Got a head start.
Yeah.
With a little telling off. Or just a tweak. Get off that track. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Cease and desist. So, and then you come up here and you watched a video and we're talking about moving the conversation about people, places, things, ourselves into the day.
Yeah.
It's just got to happen.
Yeah.
Like you said, that was what you said.
Yeah, I actually had notes about that as well.
What did you have?
Well, because it went exactly with what Zoe was just saying. It's not, for us, it's not the desert time anymore. The desert time's not raining. It's the land time, so it's milk and honey, which is milk to me speaks of growth. And honey is like, it's like the food that doesn't expire, so it's like eternal growth. It's time for the eternal growth.
That's good.
Because that's the land. And like now that should start dominating. Like, if we start growing in that, we'll change the atmosphere and everything, and then it will become the land time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's me and Zoe on the same page of our notes.
You're sharing a room.
Yeah, but we're just subliminally just connected in spirit.
Yeah, and you were subliminally talking in the night again?
I think Zoe did speak in her sleep again last night, but it wasn't clear words.
It does happen.
Last time she stayed, you were having a conversation and you got to the point of the conversation.
I was having a dream, and then but it was like a random dream, so I couldn't quite remember. It was like semi-awake, semi-asleep, and then in the dream someone asked a question, and then it shocked me because then my external ears heard Zoe go, "No." Right at the exact moment after the question had been answered.
She's in your dream.
And I would like this, like it blew my mind. I was like, whoa.
It's like dream language.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So we did that teaching last week, and we tend to do something every week. And then I said to the Lord, what are we going to do next? And he goes, no, just camp here a while, which is why we're doing this, because I sort of realised that we've got to get this one at the moment. And what you guys are talking about, we don't just got to get slightly more positive. We've got to have like a massive upgrade of conversation that sort of reflects the day, reflects the awesomeness of the day, reflects the awesomeness of the Lord. It can't even be like, even positive's not good enough. It's got to be creative.
Yeah.
It's got to get to another level.
Yeah.
And it's it's time. It was probably time for it last year and the year before and the year before, but it is time for it now. Definitely time for it now. Yeah. So it's awesome. And so
so like the superlative I'm going to use for me is like passion. It's got to be passionate.
Yeah.
Passion laden.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Passion laden.
Like up the level. Oh, and then I put, because we're talking about growth and plants and stuff, I was like, in the growth words, it's like, I called it fertilizer, because fertilizer speeds up the process.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it's going to be passion laden. That will be like my fertilizer.
It's good, Bobby.
Yeah.
Because the Lord said to me, the other day, start using superlatives.
Yeah.
Have to. Helps bridge the gap. Passion
So
laden.
one of like the old habits, which I used to always do, and I always noticed it, but I don't need it anymore because I've got to swing the pendulum the other way, is whenever someone seemed like, this seems terrible, but like too one way or too especially too positive, you always felt like you had to balance it out.
Yeah, like
but I'm
counteract.
like already told myself like that's a big no now, like to try and balance it out. People sometimes go, oh, I always have to be like, how parents who have good cop, bad cop, like I always have to be like the bad cop. But I'm like, nah, just stop that.
We probably don't need a bad cop at the
You don't
moment.
need that balance. It's been so dampened down that we actually need the massive growth. We've been deserted and ploughed, and
Extra
we
good
need
stuff.
to create the right atmosphere. So in the kingdom atmosphere, it should be filled with truth, but truth heavily laden with grace.
Yeah.
And all that sort of power and righteousness, and you create the kingdom atmosphere so that people can grow in that, and then so they can speak those kind of I just scratched, so they can speak that kind of those whatever fertilized words they need to help them grow and give and have the room to do that in the right atmosphere.
So life and death and the power of the tongue, our importance, what we speak, all these sorts of things. We know all this stuff, but at the moment, it's it's almost like a doorway's opening up, I think, for language. I don't think it's going to be hard. As we said on the video last week, we've tried to do this for decades, improve your language and all this sort of stuff. But at the moment, I think there's grace for it at the moment. And like, we're not looking to change the language of individuals, we are, and little groups, we are. I think across the board, the whole language has got to rise up in quality, and become like, I remember one time one guy said, the promises in the Bible are like, he called it Rolls Royce, which is an old-fashioned term for the best quality. And he said, but we have pushback theology or understanding. And so our language tends to be at this level. We have to start to speak Bible language, and the Bible's promises are crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy good.
It's got to match it, eh?
Got to start to match it.
Yeah.
And so we've been scared of superlatives and being positive and all that sort of stuff.
Can you give us some superlatives, Mike?
Oh, I just use simple ones.
Yeah. Amazing,
extraordinary, fantastic, wonderful.
Yeah.
So I just like simple words like that. When I'm praying for Havelock or for New Zealand or for people, I just throw them in there all the time. So I'll pray for you and go, thank you for Tam, she's awesome, she's wonderful, pray she'll have a fantastic, and just, whatever. Just start to use superlatives.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you guys, I spent quite a bit of time talking about people where they're at, which is not always a great place. And so, like you were talking about that politician, calling him derogatory things. And it's like, that's a long way. And we've all done that.
Yeah.
And the thing I did last week, mostly for me, it's not so much to do with others, it's it's to do with me. That's the area I need to work on the most. Because I already had a change of heart about the country.
Yeah.
I love the move of the Spirit and the day, and I do value God's people. And then just in the last little while, a few people that I was worried about or concerned about over the last year or so, 6 months especially, I've had to change my rhetoric about them because I was negative. And the Lord says, is that working? Oh, I thought, no. He said, just love them. And so I started speaking positively about people, even if they weren't really doing anything different or in a better place, but do the Gideon thing. Start calling them out.
Yes, and I love that. When I listened to your guys' latest video, and you mentioned Gideon, and the Lord called him, when the Lord's talking to Gideon, and he addressed him, mighty man of valor. And Gideon was like, what? I'm hiding out? Are you talking to me? He didn't see himself in that light. But the Lord addresses you. He speaks to who you are. Who he's created you to be, your true nature, and he'll address that and speak to that. He'll speak to the real you, the Christ nature, and then you can respond to that and answer to that because he's addressing you that way, and you.
It's a major disconnect.
You respond to that, and then you're like, oh, flip, and then you start agreeing with who he's called you, mighty man of valor. You're rise up. That's me.
Yeah.
And he's talking to me, and he speaks to that in you, and the life responds.
Yeah.
You stand up in it.
Yeah, so you've got to get in agreement with his view of you.
Yeah.
And then his view of everybody else. It's amazing. And his view of people is insanely, intensely awesome.
Yeah.
And our view of ourselves is often way, way short.
Yeah.
Hey, missing the mark.
Because our words are spirit, and we've got to start speaking out the Christ spirit, the Christ words, and dominate the airways, and then push all the other spirits and all the other language of different bad spirits away.
Because Jesus is crazy. He goes, my words are spirit and they're life. Even when he was sorting things out. And if we thought, just imagine if the church gets the epiphany that everything we say is spirit and life.
Yeah.
Probably be a wee bit more careful. But probably be a wee bit more excited about saying things. Because, it
can loosen and it can bind.
I know, because normally people have zero faith for something good. If you say something good, you're going to be healed. You're going to be restored. You're going to get blessed relationally. You're going to get blessed financially. Speak it over you. And he goes, oh, yeah. But if you say something negative about a person, oh my God, the immediate power that's released.
Too easy to agree with. And
Too easy. It must be agreement. Because
Yeah.
people easily agree with negative. You know, I've done it for you. You've seen it. You say 10 things good about a person, say one thing bad, the one thing bad.
It'll be what sticks.
Yes.
Like the faith to agree. Whenever he did like awesome healings, he's like, you know, he was talking about their faith.
Yeah.
Because they agreed that he could do it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, so I was thinking about that last night, and it said he wasn't able to do many miracles there because of their lack of faith. And I thought, how would that even stop God? But it's got to be in the area of agreement.
Agreement. Yeah.
Or, you know, like there's probably other reasons. But I thought there's got to be one of the good answers for that, because how can you hinder God? Lack of agreement,
Wow.
because he won't force your will.
Yeah.
Crazy, eh?
That's how much power's in it.
So that's why
Hey,
that comment
that's
last week
powerful.
was full agreement.
Yeah.
That's the safest place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, how many people do we know that are in full agreement with everything the Lord's saying about them?
He's just let me
It's
know
gone very quiet.
that I've got his favour.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, and I'm agreeing with that, and it's like, wow, I've got his favour. It's like,
Yeah, you've had a couple of good things happen this weekend.
to agree with that, so to walk in that and live in that and speak into that, like it's like you have that, like when you arrive, it's like I'm already arriving with his favour. Like
I was just thinking of a thought.
thinking of a thought.
Thinking of a thought.
That's what you do.
And we're going to move on to something else in a bit. I'm thinking of a thought. And we said on the video last week, your words will take you to your destination. So the words we're speaking currently have got us here. In 10 years' time, is this the destination we still want to be at? Not really. So we need some new words to take us somewhere better or somewhere different, somewhere, you know, grander or somewhere more in the spirit. So words have got to be almost probably got to be constantly changing and morphing.
That's that growth thing, eh?
Yeah, growth words become what we see.
Yeah.
Keep saying them.
Yeah.
I've been reading Paul lately, and all his language is superlative. If he prays for you, he's praying an extreme prayer.
Yeah.
He'll go, you might be filled with all the fullness, you know, full knowledge, full understanding, full wisdom, abounding in love.
Yeah.
That's his prayer for you, and that's what he expects to happen.
Yeah.
And then if you don't do it, he goes, what's happening? I prayed the prayer.
Abundant life.
He was just geared like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way the Lord is. Hey.
Yeah. He had like,
passion.
because I think an superlative is eternal language. And if we start talking about the eternal in man, I mean, that's the ultimate superlative. God dwelling in a man fully, that's the ultimate superlative.
Yeah.
And Paul was always talking about that.
It is the ultimate superlative.
It's huge.
Yeah. I remember one preacher, and he's preaching away, and he gets all frustrated with the meeting, and he starts banging his little pulpit or lectern. He goes, I am the eternal habitation of God by his Spirit, and just starts encouraging himself in the middle of the meeting.
Yeah.
So, you know.
That's right.
But, yeah. Words are going to take you places. Into death or into life. It's amazing. So, you know. And, like, when we did this last week, I didn't want this to be one of those beat people up. Watch your words, you're in trouble.
Let's just change it.
It's like, you know, I didn't want it to be like a task. Go and sort your language out. You know, another onerous task but this is like a doorway into opportunity.
Yes.
Hey, let's improve the level of our own lives and everybody around us.
Yes.
Let's give God a better day and us a better day. So I think that's the spirit that's got to be in.
Yeah, because my one was like, now's the time.
Yeah.
It's just the timing thing.
Yeah.
And it's by his spirit, not a worksy
Gotta be.
thing. It's by his spirit. So there's life and freedom in it.
I think, I said last week on the vid, and I think it's the grace. I think it's going to be easy this time. Because, you know, we all know where we want to get to, what we want to see.
Yeah. And there's joy in it. Like it's an enjoyable thing. It's not a heavy.
If it's enjoyable, I've found you're more likely to do it.
Yeah.
Aren't
Pretty
you?
good.
Yeah. You know? If you're not
To
enjoying
enjoy
it, it's probably not going to become a habit.
Yeah.
And a hard slog.
Because, like, say, being cynical or negative or speaking down to people, you can enjoy that. People must do, because they do it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I got pretty good at it at times.
Yeah, I could do it.
You could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's part of the old coping mechanisms and stuff. But yeah, I just think it's time for a change.
I just wanted to add another thing before I talk about
Okay. So we'll sort of finish this section off and then jump into this, and we'll finish with that stuff, I think, with the heart changes that we're all going through.
Well, just so I remember, with going into the promised land, that's the fullness.
Yeah.
So that's the heart and mind in agreement with God. So my coping mechanism was just partial. So it was, my mind was strong and I could be in agreement with God, as in like obeying him, and I could do that quite well, which was good. But it's only in part. And it also like goes back to the truth and grace thing, is kind of how I compare the heart and mind, with heart being grace and truth being mind. So there's the truth, and so my coping mechanism, self-preservation, was I would speak the truth, like say true things or whatever, but there wasn't the grace with it, which so people can't receive it, and it kind of like shuts you off from the rest.
So you were mind dominated and heart was following along.
Yeah.
So you want to deliver your truth, the truth,
Yes.
with like heavily laden with grace.
Yeah.
So they're together. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it sinks in.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that is because I'm very sensitive heart. So my mind was like, we'll just put you in this kind of prison to like protect you, kind of, because it's like sensitive.
Build some walls around your heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then so it's like my mind was in charge, the prison guard.
Yeah.
And
that's a gold line.
my heart was the prisoner. And so sometimes the mind would kind of check in and see how you're doing, but if it didn't like it, would just like shut it back off.
Yeah, because like if you deliver the truth without your heart, you think you can't get hurt. That's so true. I never thought about it like that.
But then you're hurting others, because it's almost like
it's just a bash.
It kind of comes with judgment.
Yeah.
With if it doesn't have the grace.
I think we've all been on the receiving end of that puppy.
You think?
Yeah, and so when I was thinking with that is, so my mind's had lots of opportunities to become strong and strengthened, and my heart to like protect it, it's just stayed weak. Yeah, so it hasn't had the chance to grow and be strengthened. Yeah.
It's awesome. So moving the conversation into the day, wanted to jump into this area, immediately jumps into the heart realm, because you have the abundance of the heart and all this sort of stuff. And so, you know, and you with the politician, us, me with the country, I talked about that last week, and with people, you make a decision to change your conversation, and it releases your heart to come with you. And the heart will pretty much go where the mouth takes it, seems to me.
And you can love the person.
Yeah, so, you know, and that's like, to move this conversation into the day for individuals or for a group, the heart's got to come with
Absolutely.
it all the way. Otherwise, we're just going to be heavily laden with truth, with no grace, no mercy. And it's not going to be as awesome.
No.
And we're not we're not even who we're supposed to be because we're supposed to be both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what you got, that sort of, you've been thinking about that for a while, but that really hit home this weekend a little bit, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, last night I was just thinking of that.
Pretty fresh.
Yeah.
And so you had to make a decision to let the walls down.
Yeah, open the prison door.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my mind can't be in control. It has to be a balance.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, you made that decision last night.
To open the prison door.
So what happened? Like anything that happened? Like we're talking hours.
Yeah.
Now you've had all this time to develop it.
Yeah.
What was anything already? Like any little tips or keys, or what have you done? Because once you see something, normally you start doing something.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I haven't changed anything yet, but I was asking like Hannah what she did.
Oh, that's right. This morning you were like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And I was like, what do I do?
You said something this morning. I can't remember what it was, but it was like, I said, oh, that's a gold line out on the porch when we're having coffee to do with that whole thing. Can't remember what it was, but I thought, that's good.
But that was a good question that she asked me because it made me think. And I was like, I think I need to put the passion back into everything.
Yeah.
Because that passion and heart, they just go together.
Why don't you tell your story just quickly?
What's my story?
Well, her heart was a bit of a prisoner. And where the heck was yours?
Nice and snug in here.
Were you in the cell
away
next
from all
door?
the meanies?
So both different things, but both of you, the Lord's been speaking to you about lifting up the heart to match the mind, didn't he?
Yeah, like outward expression.
Yeah.
Bring the outward expression back.
Did you make a deliberate choice to, like you made choices, did you make choices to protect your heart or shut your heart down?
Well, I used to be an intercessor.
Yeah.
So you're super open to emotions.
Yeah.
And I shut it all down.
So you shut that down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So you did that?
Well, no,
It was quite
necessary for the next
day.
day.
Yeah, it was
the Lord
yeah.
saying, I'm going to give you a break.
Yeah.
So it was like a break.
Yeah.
But then it just became the norm.
So it became a pattern.
Yeah, it was that was a certain way of living for that period of time.
Okay.
Because I went through the death and burial time anyway, so everything kind of got shut down.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the only thing that got shut down. I pretty much fully got shut down in general. But like I do think that's the last thing to that hasn't quite completely opened up yet. Like,
why?
Because it's so much.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a little bit freaked out, hesitant.
Because when you were interceding, the heart stuff, the heart level intercession and stuff, it was overwhelming.
It was overwhelming. But
you were 15.
Yeah, but my heart is getting more and more keen because
oh, really? That's a good line.
This time it's about building and growing and the joy and life. It's actually like the intercessory that I had, it was dealing with painful emotion, like the dark stuff.
People's issues.
But like my heart's like, do I get to open up and get like the cool stuff?
Yeah.
It's very enticing.
Yeah.
So I've got to like start like encouraging it, like that is what we're after here.
So we started
and put like cool passion and then get rid of like the stupid nitpicky era stuff and speak life and encouragement. I think encouragement and passion is the words I'm gonna like embrace.
Yeah. So you've made a decision and you're starting to take like steps.
Yeah. But yeah, so just steps.
It's already been changes. Right.
Yeah.
And so you've made a decision and you started, making the decision is the first step, or the first step's knowing.
Yeah.
And then you're just trying to work out how it's going to work for you.
Pretty much. But yeah, it definitely needs to be exercised so it can be strengthened.
Yeah. Because you're sort of over that now, that phase.
Yeah.
It's
not working.
Like nailed it, eh?
Done that.
Done that. Because like you were awesome then. Just imagine how much more awesome which is the last time you were here, you talked about nicknames, and you said the nicknames don't stick because I'll paraphrase it, I'm not really letting people see who I really am. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's self-aware. I thought that was a key. But this is a bit of a carry-on from that.
Yeah, it was like you said you weren't stepping out.
Yeah.
You weren't stepping out into them.
Because like this conversation that we're looking to have about the Lord saying what he's saying, the Lord always couples, like, that scripture, I look for a man who will do all that is in my heart and mind. The Lord doesn't separate his heart from his mind. They're always in sync, always in harmony. And so healthy, mature is heart and mind. Just truth is awesome. But it can be hard.
Yeah.
And just all heart and no truth, it can be a bit soft.
Yeah. Wishy-washy.
It's like it's not a superlative. It's like good, but not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Lord's heart and mind, and I always think that's the most amazing thing. I was talking to Zoe last night when we were chatting about this stuff last night, and I said that we used to know the Lord's mind, and we had a great thirst for knowledge. But this third day, this Feast of Tabernacles, whatever people want to call it, this next move of the Spirit that we're experiencing, the thing that I loved about it was he released his heart to us, mainly through intercession initially. And we got to feel what he was feeling. And I just thought, that's primo.
Yeah.
And so he did that 20 years ago. So you could walk up to a person and you would sense what he was saying about them or their situation, which was cool, but we'd already done that. But we were getting better stuff and it was faster. But at the same time, you'd walk up to them and you'd feel his heart.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, that's the picture, that's the package.
Yeah, get the Lord's heart for them far out.
And then deliver that word out of that spirit.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I like this kind of church.
Yeah.
I like this kind. I like that. And now, so I'm at the point now where I don't like, unless I sense heart with the word, I don't like it.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought of it like other scripture. So some people probably think, oh, I kind of do that, but you know how it's like you can still do that technically with like loved ones, like family, but we need to be able to do it for all.
Yeah.
It's like, let's say like was it an evil man can give love and presents to its family?
Yeah, even they can do that. Yeah,
even they can do that. What's the big deal about that?
Who's going to love their enemies?
Yeah.
Imagine having like the heart for others that you don't even know and being able to deliver the right words through that. That's cool.
Because, the Lord, the other year there was someone annoying me. Right? Yeah, and I was annoyed with them.
I love that the other year, not the other day.
No, the other year.
Wow.
And the Lord said to me, I said, Lord, they're annoying me. And he goes, I was reading the word and it goes, love your enemies, do good to those who spitefully use you. And I thought, oh, really? Because I'd so rather be annoyed. It's more satisfying. But, it's a bad habit.
It's like such an extreme sentence.
And it's pretty extreme. So I thought, all right. And then I said, Lord, and he goes, well, it's not working for you.
Yeah.
So, but that started a roller coaster. And I like people, but, people can wear you out sometimes. And so now anybody in my world who's frustrating me, I've made mental decisions. And you sort of know who gets under your skin at times.
Yeah.
Normally it's me, but I've made mental decisions with all of them and I speak over all of them. If you forgive them, release them, and I say they're amazing, they're incredible, God's got a great plan for them. And like you said, we just give them a decade or two to transition. Yeah. Give them some space for grace.
Some space and time.
Yeah. And so I've been doing it. I don't find that hard.
Yeah.
The challenge for me is to get what he's saying about, and I don't even find it hard about the day. I believe the day's amazing. But so for me, it's harder for me to lift my level to his level for me. Right. So that's the work on, this one here.
Yeah. Because
if my conversation about myself is healthy, then that's good for everybody. If it's not healthy, so that's my one. But that's, you guys, that was awesome. With you guys both going through the same sort of thing this week.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's so hard when heart or mind, one of them's not on board. Because especially like some people, they know the heart, right? They've got that right.
Yeah.
And then their mind just like ruins it, like stops it.
Yeah.
Says, nah.
It's not
what
healthy.
about this, and this?
It's not healthy.
And it breaks, it can break the heart as well.
Yeah.
I think that has probably been more my struggle then, like, because I've been more of a heart person. But then the mind, it's almost like the twisted truth used to condemn. Yeah. Like, combat it. The real truth.
Oh, man, I wish I remember what you said this morning. You said one line on the porch this morning about what we're talking about. And I thought, man, that is...
Right, that
and it was something to do with... It was like a tip for people to journey from having a imprisoned heart to being free. I thought, oh, my God, that's gold. That line will help someone. We have completely forgotten what it was. That's all right.
You'll remember it, Zoe.
You'll remember it on the way home tomorrow.
And we can edit it into the video.
But the thing is, isn't it crazy that we're even having this conversation? Yeah.
I was thinking that maybe I can think of it like a starting point for me with it is affection. I think that's going to be the first thing. Well, yeah, so allowing my heart to receive affection and then show affection to others and stuff.
Yeah, because that was a bit of a thing for a while.
Yeah, so it's like, well, with Mum, she's been good. I don't know what to say. She's been good. But
you can give me a hug now.
She's been so patient, and she's like a safe person to practice on.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like the safe environment to like to begin.
Because she'll love you on a bad day.
Yeah, she's loved me through like all this time. So it will be like, yeah, a nice safe environment for my heart to begin to grow, and then you step out and you do tricky things.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
I was just thinking, like, that's what they got the church to do at the beginning, didn't they? With all the letters, they kept telling them to, like, hug your brother.
Yeah.
Like, they actually wanted them to be caring and affectionate.
Yeah.
Oh, greet each other with those brotherly kisses.
Yeah. No, it's
supposed to
they're
be
all
part of it.
about it. So, like, when you started to realise your heart needed to come out, it probably wasn't in prison, it was just in shutdown, wasn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
You were in prison. You're in shutdown. And like God induced it, and you just decided not to check on the use by date. Now,
Got used to it.
It is the use by date, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, and then the Lord said to you, well, one of the things that we bumped into was He liked to pick 3 people and said, get fresh sight for them, you know, something, view them the way the Lord views them.
Yeah.
Let your heart go to that. Because, you know, every journey starts with a step. So, you know, if you just, reach out to, you know, for you it was 3 people.
Yeah.
And then I did that. So Hannah went away and she got things for those 3 people. And then it allows her heart to go, okay, that's what the Lord thinks. So that's legal. My heart can go there. And you start to agree.
Yeah, like that's the truth. That's what the Lord...
And did that make a change a little bit immediately?
Yeah. I haven't opened any, like, emotional gateway, I don't think. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's one just at the beginning of something.
So you just start to see.
Yeah, and then agree, and then...
So then...
I haven't gone like, I don't know what it's going to be like, but... So any sort of angst heart-wise isn't there. Like a hurt heart-wise isn't there.
So the healing's happened?
Yeah, but I haven't got like... I haven't gone gushy or something like that. I'm thinking I'm gushing. Like I haven't gone... You know when the gates burst open?
The floodgate.
The floodgates.
Yeah.
But like the hurt heart, it's stopping that phase.
Cool.
Or the upset heart, whatever.
Yeah.
You want to say.
That's a big step though.
Yeah.
Like to not be functioning out of a hurt heart, but it's healed. So then it's coming out of a healthy place.
Or a frustrated heart. Have you ever had a frustrated heart?
Just just a little bit.
One of the words that come up when we're chatting, and so like you make a decision and you make a decision, and it's the word permission. So you give yourself permission and you give your heart permission to come out. So like the Lord will do it. Like with you, all that emotional stuff. But once you make the decision, you go, okay, it's permissible. The decision's been made. Heart's coming out. It's going to get exposed. And you have to give yourself permission to let those emotions come, and you have to do it because you gave yourself permission not to. Now you have to give yourself permission to.
Yeah.
And whether it explodes. I've had my heart explode just walking up to someone. There's the Lord. Yeah. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And like now, I'm a mess. I cry like all the time, and I didn't used to cry ever.
Yeah.
But once your heart's opened up, and it's not like it's out of control, but it's like it's available for the Lord. That's really what you don't want your emotion.
It's not like massive barriers between. If he wants to access it, he can access it quite quickly.
That's a good line.
Speed.
So what we want, that's a good line. We want the Lord to be able to access our hearts quickly, fast. Like a tap on and off.
Yeah.
It's said the king's heart's like a water course in his hands. He turns it wherever he wants. So, or you want your heart free. So the Lord needs it to love someone or to do something. It's available. And so what we've had is hearts that haven't been available. That's one side of the coin. Other side of the coin, heaps of people have got minds that aren't available. Got all their things set up, all their parameters, all their little prisons all organised, and this is what God does and doesn't do. And so they're trapped in their minds or trapped in their hearts, and God don't like to be trapped nowhere. This is not that day. He wants full access to people's heart and mind.
Yeah.
And, that's a bit scary. No. We get full access to his heart and mind.
It's amazing.
We win.
Yeah.
We win. I'm not the smartest person on the world, but I've gone into all sorts of situations. Next minute, you know stuff you don't know. You see things you shouldn't be able to see. You hear things you shouldn't be able to hear.
Yeah.
A couple of lines that you haven't thought of.
Yeah.
And they go, man, that's clever. And you go, that's cheating.
Yeah.
It really
that
is.
Was the Lord.
It really is cheating. So permission, I love that word access. But that's all you're saying, Lord. Here's my heart. I'll give you free access to it. Use it however you want.
I had that.
Did you do
he
that?
had the access and skill to do like the other stuff, the ploughing and the breaking stuff down and spotting stuff. I don't
remember asking permission for that. He just sort of did that on his own.
But I'm excited because like that's done.
Yeah.
It is like he's trying to like get you to thaw out and wake up and like it's the next time now, and you got to give permission for it though. You got to like go, all right, let's not be shut down, and
it's the daytime.
It's the daytime now. That's cool.
Yay! Yay! Thank you, Jesus. Yeah.
So as the conversation changes and gets into the day, gets to be the Lord's conversation, it's going to contain his heart and his mind. How good is that going to be?
Wrapped up in love.
Wrapped up in love.
I just, with that, just keep deciding, keep agreeing until you become convinced.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Keep agreeing, keep deciding until you become convinced. That's cool. It's like with the origin.
Yeah.
I heard it, I agreed with it, and I just keep choosing it. And eventually I got more and more convinced of it. And to the point that it's a done deal.
Yeah, then that's what you see.
Yeah.
Like then it's like soaked in.
Yeah.
Fully
baked
saturated.
Baked in.
Just thinking, I wrote internal and external. So internal, we have to start being like, instead of error or I don't know, it's like search for the answers. Be answer focused.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's about the answers in the day.
That is
like never contemplate a problem or errors if you're not answer focused on it. Just because then it turns into whining and complaining.
That's super good.
Yeah. And external, it was just about giving the room, so the atmosphere of like truth and grace and righteousness, peace and joy. That's the kind of external breath of life that you should be like speaking out. Internally, you should always be pondering answers and not just pondering problems if it's not answer focused. Like it has to be answer focused.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. I hadn't thought about that. Because your mum says she loves this day because it's full of answers. It's got answers, real answers to real situations, answer focused. Because, otherwise just process round and round and round and round the mulberry tree.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying in the last video. Don't keep describing the problem.
No.
You're just describing the same problem again. The next week it's like, what's the solution?
What's the answers?
And then you're like, when someone just like keeps bringing up the problem and you're like, okay, cool, and you're waiting for them to like, but here is an answer. Yeah. And they don't. You just have to go find someone else who has an answer. I don't want to sit in that group.
So we should be expecting answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've got a thought.
Focused on them.
I've got a thought on the tip of my tongue. I love that answer focused because, like, part of the problem with moving your conversation into the day is if you're just problem orientated or whatever. But to get into a realm, I think part of moving this conversation into the day is it's super answer focused. You're expecting answers for everything, all the time.
Yeah,
like that. That's going to change your conversation a lot, and it's going to change the way your brain works, the way your brain spins. So, I remember years and years ago, probably 5-10 years ago, I can't remember. And the Lord said to me, he said, "We're different." I said, "In what way?" He goes, "I'm all about answers. You're all about questions." He's all about solutions. I was all about problems. He goes, I see answers and solutions. I don't see problems. I think that's one of the places we have to lift this conversation into.
Yeah.
Because like I said on the last one, don't tell me how dark it is. But the Lord's like, he's got a solution and an answer. And I like to kind of live like that.
Yeah.
There's a tricky situation with a country, a person, a ministry, a family member. Oh, it is a tricky situation. There's a solution, there's an answer. What's that?
Yeah.
I mean, and just get focused on that.
It's in him.
Yeah. So, like, I like that as a mentality. I'd like to, like we talked about the heart a lot. I'd like to build some really strong, also some strong mental, get stronger mentally as well. Like me, my heart's probably a little bit more developed than my mind. I mean, like, my heart's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's my mind that's always like, we could swap.
Have a little bit of sharing.
I have your mind or Hannah's mind, you have my heart. Probably make a better person.
But like Zoe will pull me up on things like she'll be, because I'll be like, oh, about this, and it's sort of like heart led, and she'll be, but Mum, whatever, and just speak the truth, and I'm like, oh yeah, and she reminds me.
With your powers combined.
Of the yeah, exactly. The body.
You two ain't one normal person.
One
I say you say one awesome team, but you're like one normal person. Yes.
You see, it's balanced. Me and Deborah are a bit like that.
Yeah. But it's great because it's like you remind me, and I'm just, oh yeah, of course. And I'm needing to hear that.
And you pull me up on my tone as well. Because it's like, yes, it's correct, but the way you're saying it, nobody's going to receive it.
Yeah. So her middle name's Grace. So I said, I'm going to just have to start calling her Zoe Grace and be calling that out, like her name, her nature.
Middle name's Grace and your middle name's Joy.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Like super
I probably did, but I forgot. How can you guys suck? You got to be amazing. If your name
Joy
like that,
and the Grace and Zoe, life.
Yeah.
Life of God.
And Tamsin means what? Does it mean anything?
I think I looked that up once.
You did, and you said like it came from Thomasina, which comes from Thomas, which means twin. And I'm thinking with that, like double down, double joy. I don't know. It's just
yeah. It's cool.
That's awesome. I don't want to be negative because we're moving our conversation into the positive. There's only been one slight negative in the last week since you made the last video. If you'll be hanging around at the house talking about something, you'll say something, there'll be a little bit of an awkward pause, and someone will go, "Is that conversation in the day?" And you think, "Oh, And I want to go, yes. But sometimes it's a, maybe no. So anyway, but look at this. This is our new, it's like a logo.
Very important.
Roadstar.
That's me, the good-looking dog.
Young dog.
Accurate.
And that's Hannah.
Yeah.
She loves cats.
I love them.
And I love dogs.
That's definitely Dad's expression. That's definitely mine.
Yeah.
And so Tamsin found that for us yesterday at a shop somewhere, a craft shop.
Yeah.
So I love
like
that. So that's our new, that'll go on our website.
Nice.
Yeah.
We should always put it in the background. For
Always, like a bluebird
Always.
potato chip packet. It'll be on our logos.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably copyrighted, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's probably copyright.
Probably.
Yeah, it's probably a court case pending. So you bought it for us.
Change the
You
colours.
cover the costs.
I'm
you
I'm
own
in
it.
trouble.
Yeah, get yourself a good lawyer.
Lawyer up.
Lawyer up. So you're good. Your
Yeah, mate.
your conversations.
It's definitely improved.
Yeah.
There's still room for more improvement.
And this weekend, the Lord really challenged you
But
about
it's better.
what could
Yeah.
you end up going to and looking like. And he showed you stuff that I hadn't. Well, I saw things and I thought, oh my God, really? Tam, amazing.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
he can do anything.
'Cause,
So
like,
it's possible.
There was like a clicking for you this weekend where you sort of just clicked into place a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's only been a couple of days, but I think
Yeah.
something's shifted.
And it is coming into agreement. And I think like that was part of the purpose of coming here, which I sort of had an inkling of, but it's been like confirmed.
Yeah.
That whole stepping into the prophet thing, like the prophet role, the prophetic, like being joined
Being clicked into that.
with other prophetic people and just like that realizing like, oh yeah.
It's a good fit.
That's there and that does flow and just embracing it instead of being scared of it. Or I was thinking, oh no, because I think like prophet's a big title. Like to me in my book, it's like, whoa, like far out, and I'm sort of down here. But it's from him and it's for him and it's in him. So it's life. So I'm agreeing with that.
Tricky. Those things that's tricky because I've been there and done that with titles and things. It's hard to agree with stuff.
Yeah, because I'm not into titles.
No, neither am I.
But it's not a pride thing, like a prideful thing.
Like I said, you see it you see, but it's just us. We're just down here, and it's just Gideon.
Yeah.
And like
Mighty man of valor.
and we go, it's just us. And the Lord goes, idiot.
Yeah.
No.
This, you're awesome.
Yeah. And so I saw a picture. I've known you since you were 18.
Yeah. Long time.
And now you're 52, 53.
I'm 45.
45. Don't say your age.
I'm 45 and I'm okay with that.
So I've known you for a while. And this weekend, I just saw something different. Once you agreed to that with Deb,
great. It's
Lord
powerful.
said, look what she's going to do. I thought, oh my God, really?
Yeah. And because I think you had a bit of a picture of that yesterday in our prayer time. And in the night or earlier hours of this morning, I was just lying in bed and then it was just like a shoo, like whatever that is, a shug. A shug.
A shug. As my wife would say, it's in the book. Look it up.
It's a prophetic word.
Prophets.
The apostles will explain it.
Yes.
The shug.
We'll do it.
But there was so much light. It was like a light beam. I don't know how to explain it. It was good. It was good for me. I got it.
I think it was a big weekend for you this weekend.
Yeah, and there's joy in it.
Yeah.
Because it's him. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen and what he's going to say. Yeah. And it's not a prideful thing because it's got to be him.
Yeah, I think you've been humbled enough.
I am pretty. Yes, definitely not me. And I'm just like, oh, thank God. Every time he gives me an answer, like it surprises me because I'm like, oh, I couldn't have thought of that.
Tim,
It's great.
be careful.
What?
Conversation. You're awesome. Daylight protocol.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's old.
Oh, what?
Old Tam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so like it's so good that it's him. You're confusing me.
I know.
It's not hard.
It's my
I
job.
shouldn't say that.
But it's in you and it's part of your blueprint that he's made you.
Yes. Oh, can you guys talk more about the blueprint thing? Because you mentioned it last week, but I know for me, and maybe some of our listeners out there, might need a bit more of a in-depth. Well, it doesn't need to be long, but just a bit of a deeper. Can you explain the whole blueprint?
Well, if you were a house, houses have blueprints and it explains.
So it's like the detailed plan.
Yeah, the detailed plan of a person.
The architect, the engineer, like it's all the detail.
Blueprint. It's his blueprint.
It's his blueprint.
Like his perfect plan.
Blueprint accurate. Everything he says and thinks about you, everything he's designed.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
That's legal.
Yeah.
And most people are nowhere near it. You know, and so like this week, I've known you since you were 18. You're now 45, and this weekend you agreed to something. It goes click, and I get a picture. I go, oh my goodness, and all goes, oh yeah, that's always been the case.
Yeah.
But I never saw it.
Yeah.
You know, because I thought.
Well, I never saw it.
No,
I wasn't walking.
I've always, thought you're awesome with, set number of skills and a wonderful person and great friend and, just a great person. And I sort of had you in that awesome, great person category. But this weekend, they all said, oh, no, she's more than that. And I thought, really? And I thought, oh, really?
Look out for that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a bit like when I didn't want to do the Gideon thing last week because it's just been 8.5 trillion sermons about Gideon. But I know there were people watching, probably you.
I needed to hear it.
Probably different specific people listening.
Yeah.
And the Lord's going to them, what he did to Gideon, calling them something that they hadn't called themselves, they were nowhere near. He said, oh no, it's been true the whole time.
Yeah.
So I think that was a Gideon moment for you.
Yeah.
So, I expect you to do something. I expect the Lord's going to do something amazing.
Yeah.
Huge.
Me too. I've got this expectation.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like there's joy in it and there's freedom in it. It's like, ooh.
So I can't explain it.
Exciting.
But I saw you,
next?
like we have our little church family, and you're part of it. And I thought, that's Tam. She's part of the group. And next minute, you sort of skyrocketed out from it. I'm going, where's she going? I mean, not like leaving us
Strap it.
as a family, but I thought, you don't know. Gideon was just part of the crew.
Yeah.
Next minute, he's running a big set the people free movement. You just don't know. I got quite
Setting
excited.
the people free.
Yeah, hallelujah.
Yeah.
So that's blueprint accurate. Gideon is blueprint accurate. That's who he was, a mighty deliverer.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
So lining up with what God's saying, his blueprint, his perfect plan with all the detail, like this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's smart. And for people and then for situations and countries. And because language that's dumb. I think I did it last week. I used to say, oh, we're not sure what you're doing. And there's like this awkward pause. I thought, it's not even accurate. He's told us he's doing this, and that. But it's just like a dumb saying you have because you don't know everything. Because you don't know everything.
Yeah.
You go, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I've told you this, and that. Why don't you focus on what I've told you?
Yeah.
And don't let me worry about the detail rather than go, and he said to me pretty much, stop saying that.
Yeah.
And like Hannah would say, I've got no skills. And I say to her, I think you should stop saying that.
Yeah.
Because she's got massive skills. But not the ones that's necessarily, the skateboarding skills, no. Surfing skills, no. Tennis skills, no. But other skills.
I tried hard on the natural skills.
You got on the skateboard.
It's true.
Like, that's impressive to me.
I can stand on it and push it.
Yeah, that's more than I can do.
So, we had to change some rhetoric.
That's the same with me. Like,
so big weekend for you.
Yeah.
Big weekend for you, because that decision you made, that's, as the Scottish prophet would say, Mick Massive.
Yes. What's funny is I got a picture a wee while ago of what I look like with the fullness and what I'm going to come into. And I was wearing like a particular colourful coat. So this last couple of weeks I've been shopping trying to find the coat. As if that would Like,
That'll do.
yeah, I need to wear the coat and it'll be okay. But now that we're
grounded.
sort of the issue, then I can wear the coat.
Yeah.
A coat of many colours sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't, like, you know, I always say to the Lord, we're reaching out to people, you know, and we're looking for specific people. I say all the time, I said to Deb, and I say, you don't know, the next person you might meet might be the next Apostle Paul. And they might look nothing. He didn't look, he was killing Christians. He was persecuting. He didn't look like the next great apostle.
Not what they expect.
But you never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah.
And like even the people you already know, you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't. Right? And you can't rely on them to tell you because they don't know either. You know, Gideon, I heard that you're the man. He goes, it's news to me. I mean, so I'm always interested. And like, you know, one of the things I see with people is huge potential with everybody. I'm going, but it can't be true. But when this move gets big, and as the Lord does this thing, you're going to need all those people. Hey, if it's a big move, you're going to need all sorts of people to rise up. So, you know, big weekend. Mark it in the calendar. And Bob, give him permission for your heart to come out of shutdown.
Yeah.
Super keen.
You're so strong in your heart now.
So
And
strong.
you love everybody.
Hannah, don't you love me?
She's
I'm in
started.
the beginning.
Give me a minute, Tam. I'll get there.
This is what we did. So she had a list.
I know you love me.
She had a list of 3 people. And then she wrote their names down and got something from the Lord for each one of them
Yeah.
to get her heart, the Lord's heart for them.
Yeah.
And she said, okay, give me the list of everybody at J now, present and past. I said, I can't give you the future members' names. I don't know them, but I can give you the past and the present ones. And then the past ones, they think they're past members. They're still present members as far as I'm
Part of
concerned.
the family.
So we've had all these columns of names written down. So Hannah's been going through all of them because it's just the Lord knows it's a little process of developing her heart into his heart. For if you can get his heart for 3 people, you can get his heart for 30. If you can get his heart for 30, you can get his heart for 3,000.
Yeah.
If you can get his heart for 3,000, I mean, it just grows, doesn't it?
Multiplied.
So that's what it's going to be like.
New blueprint skill.
And then at the end of the process, when you're looking at people, you're looking with his heart and his mind at them. And you're looking for awesome, you're looking for potential. You know, you're looking for who they are, not who they aren't. Because that's what we've done in the past. You know, nitpicky, find out who they're not. Well, that's a fault, that's an error, you don't know this and that, you're disqualified. I mean, like, that's been so useful.
You just see how awesome they are. You get his heart for them.
Yeah.
It just,
He rates people.
and you become undone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he rates them real high.
Yeah.
So, like, we were praying for something when you guys were down in Christchurch a few weeks ago. We had a prayer time, and our friend that I was praying with sitting on the couch there, and I just had my hands on her feet and just weep, like the Lord's heart. I didn't even really know what it was about, but then I got a picture of it and what was going on. But man, that was beautiful.
Isn't it awesome?
Oh my gosh. So I was undone.
That's better than a trip to the mall.
Over there. Just a bit. Yeah. Yes. Much better than a trip to
How cool. How precious that Lord would share his heart with you.
precious. Yeah.
I mean, I just think that's gold.
It's
all
a
day
gift,
long.
eh?
Yeah, it's cool.
Something I've written down. The trumpet, with the like coming into the promised land, the trumpet, it's a clear sound and it's used in war, but it's like celebration, celebratory and joyous, which I kind of said before.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, in the, like when they entered the promised land, God said to Joshua, no one will be able to defeat you all your life. That was cool. And he also said, remember that I commanded you to be strong and brave. So strong was encouraged, which is your word, so I like that.
Yeah.
Encouraged, be established in the land. And brave is like be strengthened, be bold. Yeah.
It's funny, he told them that like about 3 or 4 times in a short space of time.
Be strong and very
Now, I know you didn't get this the first time, but be strong and good courage.
Yes.
Okay, I will. No, excuse me. Because you're going to need to be. But see, like this, I love the whole joy thing because like this study in that, it was never meant to be onerous. It's exciting.
Yeah.
So if it's joyful, that's what this thing's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enough of religion and enough of rules and regulations, and we've got the Lord's heart and mind available.
Yeah, and like he's been reminding me lately and showing me like that he always makes a way. So there's a way, he's made a way for this to happen. Like
there's grace for it.
There is, like in Isaiah 43:19, I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. And it's like he makes a way, like streams in the desert. So good.
The only trouble with those scriptures, does it say rivers in the dry land or rivers in the desert?
In the dry wasteland.
Okay, so
pathway through the wilderness.
So to get a river, you got to be in a dry wasteland.
That's the fun part.
And that's like, I mean, like, you know, like with miracles, you're going to need an impossible situation.
Yeah.
So I don't pray for miracles. But like, you know, like that's.
But he makes a way, like even for me to come up this weekend.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, I got work tomorrow and stuff. Like, even my boss, like it was cool. She's like, I'll just come in the afternoon. Yeah. And then the Lord just whispered to me, he's like, because I was like, oh, Lord, am I meant to come up? And he's like, I've just made a way. Like, you know, and just every, like, lately, all these different things, he's just showing me, I've made a way, or I will make a way. And it's like, so cool.
So my personal work on is this day and our involvement as a group, Jesus Now, and to bring my conversation to the point where the way's made in the dry place in the desert. We find a home for this message and it makes a way. And some mornings I wake up and I don't feel like it. But my conversation, it's like the Lord goes, I told you I was going to do it.
Yeah.
So you just got to agree.
Yeah.
And it often is. Doesn't look likely. Hey, but it's on. Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong. Praise the Lord. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm frustrated with is you said awesome stuff on there, but you said one awesome line on the porch, and like I normally, next time I'll sit with people, I'm gonna take a pad, because sometimes you just got to capture stuff. You know, like a modern person would get their phone out and record it.
Yes, a modern person.
A young person,
someone under 50
these days would.
But people come out with gold. You got to grab it. Like Deb got stuff in the middle of the night, so she just got up at 2 and wrote it down because she said, "There's no guarantee I'll remember it."
Yeah. It's important.
So good days, good times. Yeah. Or no, awesome times.
Awesome.
So good.
Superlatives.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
So Zoe, when you remember that awesome line, but later on, probably while we're having dinner, a bit of tomato sauce there, and you can be like, I can't remember it, and we're like quickly edit it in.
Voice overdub.
Yeah, footnote. P.S.
Yeah, we can just come back.
P.S. There's this one awesome thing I want you to say.
Thanks for listening. It's awesome time to be alive. We're moving our conversation into the day, and it's not bad.
That's been super good news.
Yeah.
Is that your superlative?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just put some passion to it. Yeah.
If we looked at in the thesaurus, like superlatives, thesaurus, because there's some good.
We should get some new ones.
They have some good ideas.
Coming from like the child of English teachers.
Yeah.
You should get the dictionary.
I am not my parents. Like they just know it. I'm like, what's a superlative?
I had one a year or two ago. The Lord said to me, "You've been indelibly and inexorably marked with success." And I'm going,
one moment will I look that up.
I sort of knew what they meant, but I thought, I don't use those words in conversation, but obviously the Lord does.
He does.
They're strong words.
Yeah.
So it's cool, eh? But
what do they mean?
Inexorably, unstoppable, indelibly, you can't take it out like indelible ink. It's just there, permanent.
Awesome.
Permanently marked with an unstoppable force of success. I'm looking around going, what success?
Yes, please.
You know what I mean? Like, it didn't look like anything was happening. So it's the Gideon moment. He's going, oh, no.
That's so cool.
And I said to Deb, Lord, I said this, and she goes, yeah, that's exactly right. That's what's happening. I says, there's literally nothing happening.
Yeah.
She says, no, it's not. Got told off. But
Agree with it.
But what is, but Lord uses strange phrases with strange words.
Yeah.
Got to grab them.
Yeah.
Hey.
It was pretty cool. Sometimes, there'll be a word and I'm like, not quite sure what that means, but I'll look it up.
I was also thinking reason, like reason is doubt. Doubting is bad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't reason.
Reason's not always your friend, is it?
No.
That's the natural man mind.
Yeah.
Can
But I
shut
don't
things
see
down.
it.
So that's goodbye from Startled Dog and Cheesy Cat and Zoe and Tang.
Zoe Grace.
Zoe Grace and Tam Joy.
Joy.
Tam Joy and Zoe
I
Grace.
thought you
How
said
can you phone?
Tang.